July 6th, 2024, Istanbul, Turkey. We have East versus West 13. We have an absolute crazy stacked card. These matches include Todd Hutchins versus Krasimir Kozadinov on the right arm, best of 5. We have Jerry Cataract against Vitaly Letnin. And of course, the world famous Devon Larratt going up against David Daddy Can for a best of 7 match. I'm going to tell you guys who I think is going to win and why. So buckle up because it's about to get extremely interesting. You guys know the drill. Grab a coffee, sit back, relax, enjoy this video, and let's go, dude. So on the East versus West 13 main card, I am going to start with the Todd Hutchins against Krasimir Kozadinov. So let's just look at some stats and then let's dive into the match. And we'll do this one, we'll do the Jerry Cataract Lalatin, and then we'll dive in a little bit deeper on the Devon Larratt versus Daddy Can matches. Anyways, let's get to it. So ages, Todd Hutchins 57 against the much younger Krasimir Kozadinov of 36 years old. Weight, they are very similar. Todd Hutchins 100 kilos, 104 kilos. Height difference, we have 5'10" Todd Hutchins, 5'10" Kozadinov. Biceps, a little interesting here, 16.5 inches against Kozadinov's 18.5 bicep. So if we look at someone like Todd Hutchins with an absolute immense amount of side pressure, a thick hand, this is something that a lot of people underestimate with Hutchins as well, is if you just look at Hutchins' hand, it's freaking thick. It's extremely strong. He doesn't have a big hand, but he has a thick, smaller hand. Gives a lot of people problems. And then you look at someone like Kozadinov, where obviously he has a big hand, he's very strong, but he's a lot more of a, I wouldn't say defensive. He's offensive, but he comes more from like a hook style background. Now let's look at Todd Hutchins' last wins. Beats Tanev 3-0, then goes on to beat Chance Saw 3-0, then beats Irakli Zirikashvili 3-0, loses against Michael Todd, loses against Evgeny Prudnik, understandable, then beats Curtis Cameron, who is a Canadian freak, then goes on to beat, I can't even say his name, last name Morris, best of 6, and then comes off a big win 4-0 over the John Brzenk, then pummels Ibrahim Sagov, sorry if I butchered that, 3-2. Then goes on to beat Ongarbayev 3-0, and at this point, he loses to Daddy Can. So then we look at Kozadinov. 2022, let's date back to, loses against Corey West 3-0, then beats Doug Allen 3-0, then goes on to lose against Arif Erdem 3-0, then goes to lose against Irakli Zirikashvili. Not surprised, that guy's obviously a beast, crazy top roller. Then goes on to an even tougher match in the Matt Mask. I mean, that is wild. Of course he loses this one. Then goes on to beat Lachlan Adair. Then goes to beat John Brzenk 3-0. That's what really intrigues me the most. So who I think wins? Pretty simple answer for me. I think Todd Hutchins kind of cleans him out. I don't know how close it really will be, but I feel that Todd Hutchins' side pressure, his hand is going to be too thick. Not like most people lose because of just strictly how size of the hand, but Todd Hutchins' hand is very thick, it's strong, but I just think the side pressure was going to be way too much. And when I look at both of their records in the last couple of years, I have to give the edge to Hutchins. Now we move on to the big boys, Jerry Cataract versus Vitaly Letnin. Now, this one, you can literally put this one as the main event, and I would still be just as excited because these guys are absolute freaks. Let's get into the stats. Jerry Cataract, 51 years old, Lalatin 34. The weight, 147 kilos for Jerry, 135 for Vitaly. 6'1" for Jerry, 6'8" for Vitaly. That is insane. 21-inch biceps for Jerry, 15.7. So there's like just over 4-inch gap in biceps. That's insane. Forearm, of course, Jerry is going to win this one as well at 19.5 inches against Vitaly's 14.6. Jerry Cataract's last couple matches. Let's go back to 2019. Loses against Michael Todd 3-2. That is completely understandable. I mean, Michael Todd is one of the best in the game. Then goes on to beat Gennady Kikvinia at 3-2 in August of 2022. Then goes on to beat Georgi Svetskov 3-2 as well, but then loses to Hermes Gasparini. Vitaly Letnin, dating back to 2022, a 1-0 victory over Dmitry Salayev. Just correct me if I butchered that. Then goes on to lose against Dave Chafee 4-3. Then East versus West 7, Vitaly goes up against Tobias Sporong, wins that 3-0. Then Vitaly goes on to face Revaz Ludzi. Sorry, I don't know some of these names. Then goes on to face Hermes Gasparini and loses 4-2, but then takes a victory over Dave Chafee 4-1. So this is going to be an extremely controversial prediction because I am a massive fan of top rolling because I'm a top roller myself. But when I look at these two people, in my opinion, and you guys tell me in the comment section below, I feel that yes, of course, the back pressure and the pronation of Lalatin is going to be much more powerful than Jerry's, but Jerry is so good and he's so strong at getting into the strap that once Jerry's going to go and flop press, I feel like Vitaly, of course, Vitaly's going to be up here. He's going to be trying to get that leverage. But he's going to be so tall that the leverage won't matter because the back pressure, it's not, from a physics standpoint, I just see him being a little bit too tall on leverage. I apologize if that doesn't make sense. But what I'm trying to get to is that once Jerry's going to come in and commit to that press, from a physics standpoint, Jerry has a much more chance to win. When you're talking about someone like Jerry, who, from what I've seen of Jerry, his endurance is absolutely off the charts. You look at some of the matches with him and Devon and some of these big guys in WAL. Jerry can legitimately hold a press for 10 minutes, and he's breathing heavily, but he can do it. Vitaly, I mean, the problem with top rolling, and anyone who top rolls will know this, you can only hold for so long, and as you get a little bit further away, you get more disconnected. You don't have that connectivity, so you're more prone to losing. Who do I really want to win? Well, I want to see Vitaly win because I wouldn't say I look up to him, but being a top roller and being the super tall, good guy, I guess, I kind of want him to win. But when I look at it from a physics standpoint, it's kind of a nightmare for Vitaly. Now, you can argue the complete opposite and say, well, he has so much leverage, he's just going to roll over his wrist and he's going to hold, come in tight and pin. I can kind of see that, but from my understanding, from what I'm looking at, as much as it's hard for me to say, Jerry is stupid strong, and once he commits into that press, I feel like just the leverage he's going to have is just, he's going to sit there. He'll come back a little bit and get on that bicep, but he's going to come right back to the press. So, who do I think wins out of this? My prediction is Jerry Cadderat, and I think this could be a 3-1, 4-1 match. Getting on to the main event, the one you guys probably want to hear from me. Now, I just want to start off by saying that I have always supported Devon, and 99% or if not all my videos, I have actually always bet against Devon. Like I said, not because I don't like him. Like, he's Canadian, I'm Canadian, I've talked about this before, I've pulled with him, I know people who know him, I fully support Devon, I like everything he does. However, for the first time, let's just get to it. So I'm gonna break down the stats. But think of it this way too. Devon is also coming down in weight, and after putting on the performance he did with Levon, well, you would think it'd be an easy match for him to just drop in weight, and then all of a sudden he's just steamrolling all the guys in the 120 kilo class. Let's just get to it. So best of 7, right arm. So Devon Larratt, 49 years old, he's getting up there against the Armenian Daddycan at 25. Weight, 120 kilos for Devon, a 150 kilo different. 150 kilos for Daddycan. 6'5" for Devon, 6 foot for Daddycan. 18.5 inch biceps on Devon, 18.7 on Daddycan. A 16.5 inch forearm for Devon and a 17.3 inch forearm for Daddycan. So best of 7, who do I see winning the matchup between Devon and Daddycan? I will say, I think Devon wins this. Now, hear me out. Goes on to beat Michael Todd 5-0 in 2021. Goes on to beat John Brzenk 4-0 2021. Then loses to Levon Saginashvili. I mean, that's obviously no surprise. That was Devon's first loss in a long time. Has a return fight, beats Evgeny Prudnik 3-0. Then goes on to face the second round with Sandras Sedis. This one was right arm, beats him 6-0. Then goes on to face Dave Chafee. I was actually against Devon on this one, but obviously proved me wrong. Devon wins 6-0. Goes on to fight Hermes Gasparini. I thought Hermes was going to steamroll Devon. I was completely wrong. Devon won 3-0. Then right before he faced Levon, he went up against Denis Saplenkov, beat him 3-0. I predicted that. Goes on to fight Georgi Tveskov, wins 5-0. And then, of course, went on to lose against Levon the second time. Then we go to look at Daddy Yankin's most recent wins. In terms of right arm, he beat Irakli Zurkishvili 3-0. Went on to beat the machine Todd Hutchins 4-1. And now he's facing Devon. So who do I see wins this? Honestly, I can see Devon winning this. I wouldn't say easily, but I think it's going to be obvious that Devon is still a little bit further ahead of these guys. I think Devon is going to do what he always does. I think he'll come with his back pressure and he'll already have his pronation. And then if he needs to, he'll flop to press, or he'll come in with his shoulder commit and he'll slowly bleed him out. Of course, Devon should win on endurance, but even up until recently, he said that that's not how you win arm wrestling matches. It's truly just strength. I can see this being a convincing victory. I do want to give Daddy Can a chance, but honestly, I still think there's a gap, and I do see Devon winning this. So you guys let me know in the comments below. I could be completely wrong and maybe rub some feathers the wrong way, but I honestly want to hear from you guys what you think. If you enjoyed it, check out the video right here. I'm going to put up a video, and if you actually did like the video or found it informative or you enjoyed something, like it, consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.